Good morning and welcome to part 2 of making our animal square. In part 1 we made the square starting with a circle and then we converted it into a square, and now we're going to make it into an animal. We're going to make it into an owl. This one here you can see I've made into a mushroom. This little one is a fox. I've made a few other ones. We're going to make this one into an owl. I don't have an example of it with me, but it will be slightly similar to this one. We're going to make 2 big eyes and a beak and some wings, but I think the wings are going to be slightly different to this. But yeah, something similar to this we're going to make our square into. All right, so to do that we're going to need a hook. I'm using a slightly smaller one than the 4 I used before. It's a 325. You can use a 3.5 or a 4. We're going to need some scissors, a sewing needle, and I'm going to be using the blue for the wings. And I don't have any white, so I'm going to be using this cream for the eyes, and then a little bit of black for the eyes, and some orange for the beak. Okay, so let's get going. Okay, so our vision for the square, we're going to make 2 circles like this one for the eyes, about 3 rows or rounds for the eyes, and then we're going to make the wings also using circles, which we're then going to fold over to make sort of like an oval for the wings. We're going to do the eyes slightly differently. Here I used plastic eyes, but we're going to sew some eyes and we're going to make them closed this time, and then we're going to make a beak. We'll see what we can do about these. Let's see, maybe the tassels would be a nice addition. Let's see when we get there. But our flat square is going to be modeled on this one here. All right, so let's put that back, okay, as our little example, and we're going to start with our 2 circles. All right, so let's get our smaller needle and this cream cotton that we're going to be using. White would be awesome, but I have no white at this stage. So, okay, to start, we're going to either do a magic circle, which remember you start with an X over your 2 forefingers, take your hook, go under one, over one, and round. Okay, and there's your circle that you're going to be using. It's sometimes not as easy as it looks to do, and if you're struggling to do a magic circle, there is another method. Here you're going to chain 4. You're going to chain 4 chains, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then you're going to go back into that first chain you made, and you're going to do a slip stitch. So in there, quite carefully, pull through and pull through. Okay, now you've got your very tiny little circle that you're going to use. You're going to use that gap there and not that gap there, because remember that's just part of the first stitch. So it's tiny and not always the easiest, but anyway, we're going to use that. So we're going to do 6 half double crochets into the center. So straight into the middle, pull through. You've got 3 stitches on your hook, round and pull through all 3. Okay, that's your first one. Once you've done your first one, the rest are slightly easier. You can see the circle better. Into the center again, pull through. You've got 3 on your hook, round again, pull through all 3 again. Let's do our third, pull through, round and through all 3, in, round, through all 3, 2 more, in, pull through, round, all 3. Oops, here we haven't gone through all 3. Let's carefully fix that or redo that one. It doesn't always work out perfectly. So if you've got to undo it and do it again, go for it. The nice thing about crochet is that you don't lose all your stitches. They're still there, but you just go back to where you last were. All right, so here we've got this circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, we're going to go to the first one and we're going to slip stitch. Okay, and then we've got our first round of the circle. Okay, to start round 2, let's chain 1 and let's find out which our first stitch is. If you can't always know where it is, it's not as easy sometimes. So count back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that is fairly obvious, but you're going to yarn over, go into that first stitch, and to do the second round of your circle, the pattern is 2 half double crochets in each and every stitch. So let's do the first one, back into that same one, let's do another one, and the second one, in, pull through, round, pull through 3, another one into that same one, round, pull through all 3. We've done 2 stitches. This is stitch number 5, if you know what I mean. And that's number 6, so we've done 3. This is our 4th one, 1 and 2, second last, in, pull through 2, in, pull through all of them. Did I say 2? Pull through 3. Okay, and the very last one, in, pull through 3, pull through 3. Okay, so we should have changed our 6 stitches into 12, and let's double check we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. All right, so we've done 2 rounds. Let's slip stitch to the first one, pull through and pull through. Okay, and chain 1. Okay, sorry, I'm making it look very difficult there. It shouldn't look that difficult. All right, now for the round 3, the pattern for round 3 is 1 into the first, 2 into the second, 1 into the third, 2 into the fourth, etc. So we're going to start with yarning over into the first stitch, where we're going to do 1 only. So 1. Okay, the second stitch is going to need 2, in, through, pull through, back into that same one because it's going to need another one, pull through and pull through 3. Okay, number 3 is going to need the 1, so in, pull through 3, 4 into the fourth one, 2 into the fourth one, 1 and 2, and we're going to alternate like this all the way around until we get to the beginning, and you should have 18 stitches when you get back to the beginning, and our first eye will be finished. Okay, so carry on alternating, 2 into the next, 1 into the next, until we've gone into each of the 12 stitches, and we now have 18 stitches. And you're going to do the same again, and you're going to slip stitch to the top stitch, and you will have finished your first eye. Okay, I will show you when I'm finished what it looks like. And then we're going to go on to make another one. We're going to need 2 eyes, and then similarly we're going to make 2 circles for the wings, but I think we're going to use different stitches for the wings. All right, let's see where we are. We've got 1 more to go for our double. Okay, and as I mentioned, we should have 18 stitches at the end of this. So let's do a quick count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. Okay, excellent. Let's slip stitch to the top. And there we have our first owl eye. Okay, you can pull, cut, make a longish end so that we can sew it onto our square. All right, so now we've got 2 threads. We're not going to sew this one in. We're going to need it, but this back one we can sew in. So grab your needle. Here, mine is here. Grab your needle and thread it. And then we're going to sew it in by going into a few stitches. It doesn't matter which ones. Into a couple stitches. And then reverse, go back. Oops, whatever you can catch there. Do a couple on the way back. Okay, then it's nice and secure. And you can cut it off at the beginning there. All right, so we've got our first eye. We're going to do another eye exactly the same, using half double crochet, 6 starting, double them, and then alternate, and you're going to end up with 18 on exactly like this. Okay, so we'll meet up when we've both got 2 eyes. Okay, on to the wings, and as I said, we're going to do something similar. We're going to use single crochet for the wings because they need to be slightly smaller than the eyes. So very similar, we're going to make a magic ring or do that chain 4 and slip stitch into the first. Either or will give you a ring to work with. Okay, so here we are doing the magic ring method. And we're going to do 6 single crochets into this circle. So we don't yarn over, we just go straight in, pull through, 2 on the hook, pull through, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2 more, 5 and 6. Okay, then we take the short end, pull tight, and we can do, okay, the last time we did our circle, we did the slip stitch to the top. What we're going to do now, just to show you new methods, is you go back and you see which is your first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. You go into it. We're just going to work in the spiral in this one. Okay, and we're going to change color. I thought we'd do 2 shades of blue, make nice bright wings. So instead of finishing with the light blue, we just take our new color, pull it through, and pull it through. We now have my daughter's cat visiting us, so he is making things a little bit tricky. He's lonely. She's away at the moment. So he is looking for attention. Anyway, so there we've changed colors, and remember, into the second row we're going to do 2 double crochets into each. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 into that stitch. We're going to do 2. Oh, I'm doing a double crochet here, which is not what we're doing. Apologies. We're going to do 2 single crochets into each. So 1, 2. Can you hear his purring? He's very happy to have found me. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then the last 2 into that last stitch. 11 and 12. Okay, 2 rounds done. Let's push him away a bit, give us some space. And now we've still got the first blue attached, so let's go back to that. So we're just going to carry on once again in the spiral into the first stitch. This blue is a little bit tricky to see. 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 into that first stitch, using our nail here to get in there, and we just take the light blue again and use it to pull through and change color. Okay, let's pull on the blue to tighten, and there we go. All right, so now our third row we alternate. So the first one is a single crochet, 1, the second stitch is 2. I hope he's not distracting you too much. Oh. 1 into the third, 2 into the fourth. We have 6 cats, so there's generally a cat close by. This one is my daughter's. She's in Vietnam at the moment and has been for about 6 weeks, so her cat is pretty lonely. So we try and give him as much attention as we can, but he is making things very tricky here. Hey, Thomas? There we go. One and 2. One and 2. Okay, so then once again with the third row round, we should have 18 stitches. Double check you do, and then when you get to the end, you are going to need to slip stitch. So just through and through, and then you can cut it off and you've made your first wing. All right, make another one the same. Remember, you don't have to change colors. You don't have to use these colors. You can use absolutely any colors, same color. It's completely up to you. So use your imagination and do exactly what you want. But if you've done what I've done, you've finished your first wing and you're going to make another one exactly the same. Okay, I'll see you when we've got 2 wings. Okay, so what we've got now is we've got the 2 eyes, we've got the 2 wings, and we've got our square. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to put the eyes on, place them where they should go. Okay, and then what's going to happen with the wings, they're going to be folded over and they're going to be sewn on like that on each side. Oops, like that, facing out, there we go. And then once we've sewn these on, we're going to do the beak and finish off the eyes. All right, so now you've got your thread to use. You're going to thread your needle and then just very neatly and slowly go into each, go pick up one at the bottom, go into the next, pick up one at the bottom, go all the way around that eye, all the way around that eye, leaving them, placing them there, and then sew on the wings. Okay, sew them together first. So take your, start to put it like that, thread your needle, and you're going to go in, out, in, out, in, out, so that's together, and then you're going to sew them onto your owl however you think they should go. Okay, however the wings you think they should go. I'm going to put them something like that. Okay, so I'm going to do that. You do that too, and then when you're finished, come back and let's finish off our owl. Okie dokes, this is what he's looking like now. We've sewn on his eyes and his wings, and now we just need to thread our black cotton, and we're going to sew on his eyes. If you wanted to do open eyes, you are most welcome to. but I am going to make him closed eyes. All right, so to start, let's just join the black. So just attach it anywhere at the back. Just go through a few times just to attach it. Okay, and then we're going to be going into that space there, and we're going to be going around this round. Okay, in and out until we parallel to where we started, or I mean opposite where we started, should I say, and then go back, missing or getting where you missed. So we've got an eyelid like that. Okay, then we're going to do some eyelashes. So just in there and in there. We're going to do about 4 eyelashes. Okay, 1. Just space them out evenly-ish. 2. Not all that even, but it is good. 3 and 4. From there, you're going to go into the next one and do exactly the same, in, out, all the way around. See? So we rethread that in there, and then go back the way you came and fill in the gaps that we've missed. Okay, and then the eyelashes. Okay, let's see where we're coming out. Somewhere there, looks good. Okay, the first eyelash. Second. Third. And fourth. They're not perfect, nor do they need to be, unless you want them to be completely perfect. And then when you're finished, once again, just finish off. So a couple times, and then you can cut off the black. Okay, and we have got the eyes. Hey, look how adorable that's looking. Right, the last thing we need to do is to do his little beak, and that we're going to do in orange. Here we go. I've got some orange, which I'm going to thread onto my needle, and we're just going to make him an upside down triangle as his beak. Okay, so once again, let's attach it to the back, anywhere sort of close by to where we're going to be working. Okay, then we're going to start. Okay, we're going to go in somewhere over there and over there, evenish, and at the bottom to create a triangle. Like that. And then we're going to almost color it in. So we're going to just try and fill in that triangle by going over with our thread and Once again, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's just a caricature, a little, portrayal of an owl, and it's going to look adorable either way. So in, out, filling in that triangle as best you can. Few more and we will be done. Missed that gap there. Okay, that should be it. Okay, and look how sweet that looks. There's a little owl. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you love your little owl that you've created. Now you can attach this to whatever you want. You can make a blanket, you can make more squares, you can attach it to a bag or to a blanket or whatever you'd like. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that tutorial. Please join me again for the next one. I really enjoyed having you with me. Please will you comment below and show me if you made one of these and tell me how I can improve or what you would like to see next. I'd really love to hear from you. Thank you. Bye.